So my particular assessment was the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Test, which can be used with any age group really, but it's typically focused on those who are developing Alzheimer's or dementia. So typically for our geriatric population is where we will use this particular assessment tool. And it is administered with a face-to-face interview, and it only takes 10 minutes. It's really short, really simple, and you can score it in that amount of time as well. And there are a few abilities that are tested for the elderly population, and this would include things such as the visual spatial, the executive, the naming, memory, attention, language, abstraction, delayed recall, and orientation. They are all tested, and they're all scored, and they have their own score that I'll show you later that you can see for each particular category. And for example, if the client gets 3 out of 5 points on the visuospatial executive portion, and then maybe a 2 out of 3 on the naming portion, that will add up to 5 points there, and it is out of 30 total from all 8 categories when you add it all up. And one of the best things about this particular assessment is that it is free. You can go right onto the website and you can find images of it that you can download and print and use with your clients. In terms of its reliability, it had a 95% reliability on a study that I saw, and that was super high. In terms of the internal consistency, it was a little bit lower. It was around 79%, but it was still a relatively high score for that. In terms of test validity, it has been shown in numerous studies to have a high test validity. And overall, I think this is an assessment tool that I'll use. One of the big things is that it is free, or some of these other tools are like $500 to $800. This one is just free, just print it out, which is awesome. And it's really, like I said, easy to use. The access is easy, and it's pretty easy to understand for clients as well, which is huge. And really, the only comment I could think of is if someone has fully developed Alzheimer's or fully developed dementia. I'm not sure if they would be able to fully understand it at that point. And also because the internal consistency is not as high as the test reliability is. But other than that, it seems like a great tool to use. And I'm going to show you what the Montreal Cognitive Assessment looks like in its practice. Here is the Montreal Cognitive Assessment. As you can see here, this is the visual spatial executive portion. And so you're going to copy this cube right here. If you're the client, you're going to draw a clock, and here's how the points all add up over here. Then there's the naming portion, and as you can see, all of them outside of memory, which is not scored. All of them are scored out of 30 points, which is the total down here. And these are all the categories on this side, and that is the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Tool.